Welcome to the Mike Harts Trucking Podcast, where positivity meets transportation. Here's your host, Mike Harts.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Mike Harts Trucking Podcast. This is our second episode of the Dealing with Hurt. This is Dealing with Hurt Part 2. And we talked last time about healing from hurt. And the question I pose to you is, what if you can't forgive somebody? What if you feel like you can't get through the hurt because someone keeps cutting? And my answer to that question is, first of all, it's not simple. It's not easy. When I talk about dealing with hurt or getting over hurt, it's not that simple. It's not something sometimes that happens overnight. Sometimes it's very hard. And when dealing with hurt, we have to be patient with ourselves. We have to give ourselves grace. And a lot of times we don't understand that forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for us. Forgiveness is for us. In order to forgive somebody, you release them. Most of the time, people deal with hurt if they're heavy with empathy. If God bless them with the spirit of empathy in them, you tend to deal with hurt a lot more, because empathetic people feel like they always are putting themselves in other people's shoes, so they feel a little differently. And when you have empathy inside of you, when you're an empathetic person, things tend to hurt you a little more. You read into things a little more. You see things deeper. Some people can just move on and hurt you and keep going. They don't mind. They break their promises. They said they were going to do this. They don't do it. A lot of empathetic people get hurt by unspoken things, like, if we were supposed to meet at a certain time each day or something, and we used to always do that, and it was unspoken thing, and then someone just started to switch up. The other person doesn't care. The other person doesn't feel what you feel. The other person didn't care. So you take that to heart. You're like, man, that's terrible that they don't care. They're not empathetic. Hello, they're not empathetic. They don't feel like you feel. They don't think how you think. They don't put themselves in other people's shoes. And when people don't feel empathy, sometimes that hurts us. There could be somebody spending time with you. There could be somebody calling you. There could be somebody taking their time out. And you're thinking to yourself, this person doesn't want to be here. This person does things to check a box. This person does things because they're being nice, or this person. That is the worst feeling. When someone's doing something nice, but they don't want to do it. And you can feel it. Somebody hear what I'm saying today. You can feel it when a person does it. When a person's not there mentally, but they're there because you've been there for them, or they're there because you're a nice person, or whatever the reason. That's the worst feeling. And a lot of us feel that. And we lash out on people, or we get upset, or we're not even lashing out. We're just hurt. We're like, why don't you feel it? Do you love me? Do you care about me? And they're like, yeah, I do. And they use silence, and they use things, and you feel like you're being punished. But I want to talk to you about somebody who you can talk to at any time, that is never too busy for you, that calls on you multiple times a day, that wants to spend time with you, that wants to talk on the phone with you, that wants to hang out with you, that wants to FaceTime with you, that wants to see you face to face. That's Jesus. And I met him when I was a child, and he's never left me or forsaken me. He's always been there for me. When people let me down, he's never let me down. When people didn't want to talk to me, when they didn't have time for me, he's always had time for me. He always thinks about me. He always puts me first. He always feels what I feel. He always thinks what I think. He always loves me. He's always proud of me. And if you don't know Jesus to be your Lord and Savior and you need someone to talk to, you can always email me and I'll walk you through stuff. You can always talk to me. I'm here for you. Or find somebody or find a Bible-believing church that you can get a hold of somebody. Or maybe it's a family member who believes in Jesus, is a Christian, that can shape you and mold you and disciple you. Find someone that can pour into you. Because that relationship with Jesus, man, he'll never let you down. Some of the closest people can hurt you and let you down, but Jesus will never. He can be your rock to lean on. He can be your savior. And that's what we've got to understand. And I've been talking the last few episodes about this. Men and women will let you down accidentally, purposely. It doesn't matter why they do what they do. Just know they'll let you down. Not to say there's not great people out there. There's great people. But even the great people might accidentally do stuff that lets you down. And that's normal. That's why we don't look to people for our salvation. We look to God for our salvation. And I don't apologize about talking about God. I don't back away from it. This is my podcast. This is my platform. This is what I use it for. To encourage people about life, trucking, God. It's all a part of my life. In other organizations, I had to tamper down my message and I couldn't say certain things. But this is how I feel. This is what I think. And I don't say things like, well, if you don't believe in this, then, and if you do, I don't back away from it. This is how I feel. This is what I think. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I still love you. I'm still here for you. I still care about you. But this is the one way you can find true peace and get out of hurt. Well, I hope today's podcast encouraged you today. Dealing with Hurt Part 2. I hope you'll tell somebody about this podcast. If you're a truck driver, I hope you'll tell your company. I hope you'll listen to these short podcasts throughout your day. God bless you. Love you. Go with peace.
As always, thank you for listening to the podcast. Our goal is to bring positivity to the transportation world. If you would like to bring Mike in as a speaker at your trucking company or conference, please email us at mikehartsnow@gmail.com or call us at 815-441-8234. Our website is mikeharts.com. Thanks so much for listening and be safe.